students, let's continue from the part that we left. So in winter, the direction of the wind flow gets reversed. It flows from land to the ocean. So if you remember, sea breeze and land breeze. So sea breeze happens during the daytime. Why? Because the land gets heated up faster. So the air above the land rises up and the cold air from the sea comes and takes its place. So it is called sea breeze. Okay. So at the night, the reverse happens. Why? Because the sea gets heated up faster, air above the sea rises up, and the land breeze comes and take the place. Okay, so that is why at the night you have land breeze. Okay, so similarly in winter you have land breeze. Okay, because in winter what happens? The land remains cold, but water, it gets heated up faster. Okay, so that is why in winter the direction of the wind flow gets reversed. It flows from land to the ocean. Same thing that happens during the night time happens in winter. Okay, winter season. And in summer season what happens? The thing that happens during the daytime basically. So the winds from the oceans carry water and bring rain. It is a part of the water cycle. Okay, so monsoon winds that we call. Right? The monsoon winds carry water and it rains. Clouds bring rain and give us happiness. Farmers in our country depend mainly on the rains for their harvest. Definitely, farmers, they depend basically on the land. Okay, they depend basically on the rains. Okay, for their harvest. Right? So now this is, you have this picture in your textbook also. This is actually how land and water gets heated up. It is a graphical, a pictorial representation, okay, that how the land and water, so this is the water, this is the land, and how the land and water gets heated up. So this is particularly a pictorial representation. The arrows basically show you the direction of the flow of wind, okay, that how from the ocean, the winds, they flow towards the land. So the arrows are basically pictorial representation of how the winds get flow. Okay, so this is basically a pictorial representation. So now we come to a very interesting and a very important topic of this chapter, that is thunderstorms and cyclones. Right? Now thunderstorms develop in hot, humid tropical areas like India very frequently. So thunderstorms is something that is very, very common here, isn't it? It is something that we experience during the rainy season, definitely, right? We experience thunderstorms. We have seen how thunderstorms come and basically what is the mechanism. You will see that lightning is there along with the heavy rain. Okay, so all these things we experience quite often, especially in India. It is very, very common. Why very common? Because the condition for the development of thunderstorm is hot, humid tropical area. Okay, and India is a very hot and humid place. Okay, all over the India you have different heating patterns for sure. But if you talk about Northeast comes under very hot and humid region. Okay, so that is why basically in Northeast you have this very, very frequently happening, that is thunderstorms. The rising temperature produce strong upward rising winds. Okay, so the winds, they go upwards and upwards. Why they will go upwards? Because as I told you, hot air is lighter than cold air. If you remember, I told you hot air is lighter than cold air. Now when you have a hot, humid environment, what is happening? The air will become very, very hot. Okay, so the air is going to become very, very hot in a hot, humid environment. So once the air becomes very, very hot, then what is going to happen? That air is going to rise up. Okay, definitely the air is going to rise up. So when the air rises up very fast, okay, suppose the speed of the air is very high, okay, then what happens is you have these kind of thunderstorms happening. Okay, these winds carry water droplets upwards. Okay, so when the wind is rising, it is what it is carrying with it, water droplets. Now you will ask me, from where will the water droplets come? Water droplets are nothing but water vapor, isn't it? When water vapor condenses, it forms water droplets in the atmosphere. So as the wind is rising, it is carrying the water droplets with it, isn't it? So the swift movement, where they freeze and fall down again. So definitely when you take it to a very high level in the atmosphere, there it is cold. Okay, so when there it is cold, these water droplets are going to freeze. or condense and they will fall down as rain, isn't it? We all know that. So the swift movement of the falling water droplets along with the rising air create lightning and sound. Okay, so the water droplets are moving along with the air which is rising up. So this swift movement, okay, it will create lightning and sound. So lightning and sound, how they are created? Basically due to friction. When two clouds, they rub against each other. Charges are dispersed. Okay, charges are dispersed when two clouds, they rub against each other, or when water droplets, they rub against each other as they are moving, or when the water droplets rub against the air which is rising upwards, it creates electric charges. Okay, so that electric charges comes out in the form of lightning and sound. It is this event that we call thunderstorm. Okay, I hope I am clear. So you go through this mechanism. Okay, so if a storm is accompanied by lightning, we must take the following precautions. Very, very important. What are the precautions you need to take when you have thunderstorms? You should be very careful because thunderstorm is a very common mechanism out here. So you have to be very careful how you can take precautions. Do not take shelter under an isolated tree. Isolated tree means suppose a tree is standing alone and you have a huge field. Okay, so the tree is isolated. Nothing is there around that. Never take shelter under that. If you are in a forest, take shelter under a small tree. Why? Because big trees, they have higher chance of getting uprooted. Small trees, they don't get uprooted because their height is very low. Okay, the winds will not come and attack at such a low height. Okay, so if the height is more, then they are more prone to the winds. Okay, so always make sure that you are under a small tree instead of a huge tree. Do not lie on the ground. Never lie on the ground. Okay, just be under the small tree. Okay, do not take shelter under an umbrella with a metallic end. Very, very important. Remember the umbrella that you are carrying, if it has a metallic end, you know metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, right? We know that. So if the umbrella has a metallic end, then what is going to happen is, charges may come and touch the metallic end and you are holding the umbrella, you might get electrocuted. So always carry an umbrella with a plastic end. Never carry an umbrella with a metallic end. And if you are carrying, make sure that you do not open if there is, lots of lightning and, thunderstorms happening. Do not sit near a window. Open garages, storage sheds, metal sheds are not safe place to take shelter. Never sit near a window. Okay, because there is lightning and thunderstorm happening. Make sure you close your window and sit out inside the house. Never be in open garages because in garages you have the metallic parts of cars and all, no? So these are very, very dangerous. Metal sheds, okay, where you are dealing with metals and all, never sit near metals, okay, because they are good conductors and you might get electrocuted. So these precautions are very, very important. Okay, so we'll continue with the explanation in the next slides. Thank you.